Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to go to the jury room for a break of about 10 minutes. Please do not discuss the case. You'll stay put, Mr. Murdaugh.
But we will.
Wow. Okay. Steve, you got to leave soon. Go. I mean, talk. I mean, don't not leave. Go. Like talk.
Yeah, no,
go.
I got you. No, my mom's coming for lunch, so I got to go to lunch at. She's supposed to be at 12:30, but my mom's she's a pretty late person. She does leave late, so I'll hang out until I get the call, and then I got to check out quick. Well, I think he's doing great on the stand. I'd say that the thing that I was referring to people in the chat is in Ideas and Answers in Law on page 111. Okay, so page 111, and there's subsection 6. Oh yeah, look, mindset's got it. And this is humans are poor intuitive judges of false testimony. So there's a lot of scientific research on this, and the thing is that people want to look at him and say, I think he's lying, or I think he's telling the truth, and use their intuition to think that they are good at detecting truth or falsity. We are all bad judges of human lying. And that goes for me, and that goes for you, that goes for judges, that goes for cops, all right? So, okay, well, what point is it? Well, what you listen for is you listen for facts that he is stating. He is giving you he's telling you to the best of his ability what actually happened. So he's filling in gaps and facts. Now you can take those and test them against the physical evidence that you see and the other testimony and see if there's inconsistencies. That's why the process of methodical police processes are good at rooting out falsity. It's not like I'm a cop and I know I'm chewing the gum and like, you're lying. If we're doing that, you're making a mistake. All right. I reckon I have an emotional reaction. I like the guy. I think he's I think is exactly what I thought. He'd be telegenic. He's convincing. He's a good old boy. Okay, I got all that. But it doesn't really matter when we're looking at it. Is he telling the truth or not? What matters is, does his story line up with the evidence? Because if he's telling you what happened, and that is consistent with him not doing it, if there is no factual evidence that disputes his narrative, then you must acquit. That is not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Because he is telling you what he's saying happened, and you cannot conflate. Now, I'm not saying the jury can't ignore it. They can ignore him, say he's a liar, whatever. But I'm saying look for the factual evidence, either through testimony or physical evidence, that contradicts his story, and then come back and say, here's what contradicts what he's saying, right? So this is just be a little more rational about judging somebody's truth or falsity. If you're just saying, I think he's a liar, because you're projecting your own biases. And the science is very clear on this. There's been a lot of psychological studies, and I cite it on page 111 and 112 in this book in support of some other points. But the truth is true, because judges think that they can tell the truth. Police officers think it. Lawyers, we are arrogant sons of bitches too.
But hold on, Steve. If you're a wine mom, can you tell? Does that make you better at detecting lies? If you've
depends how many drinks you've had.
But I've watched body language experts on YouTube telling me things, Gauze.
No, sorry. It's wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice that we had a machine like a lie detector that we could hook up? But there's a reason they're not admissible. The reason they're not admissible because they're not scientifically valid.
Right. I can squeeze my anus and throw it off. I'm just saying. Old Soviet trick works every time.
Legal Mindset. Welcome back from welcome back from
Did
Southeast
you miss me,
Asia.
Jeff?
We missed you. Comments. Are you surprised that he testified?
What the hell are we watching? And what happened, Jeff? What is going on? Is it that bad? Like, is it just that bad that they've decided to throw the Hail Mary? Did they need to do this? Was this at all necessary?
I'm in Steve's camp. He's got nothing to lose. He's going down for the rest of his life for the financial stuff. Now he gets to stand up and go, here's what really happened on the night in question. I'm a piece of crap. I'm a horrible human being. I've done lots of bad things, but I did not kill my wife and son.
So you think this is his kind of his shot to speak for himself? He knows he's fucked on the financial stuff, so he's just going Hail Mary here. I'm going to tell the real story. This is my one shot to tell it. Do you think they're reading the jury on this at all? Do you think they're doing this based on a read of the jury where they're saying, or they're just they're saying we got.
I don't even think he cares. I think this is just for his own soul, whether he did it or not. And my gut feel, I want to believe him, whether he's telling the truth or not here. I feel like I want to believe him.
It's a hard thing. You got to really get me over the hump of somebody killing their wife and son. And you got to do it in a very convincing way with a super strong motive. You come at me with a weak motive, not clear facts. That's not going to do it. Delaying a timeline or, some minor detail, even in an affair, it doesn't do it for me.
I can see killing your wife and son in some weird passion, but shooting your son in the face with a shotgun is a whole different level of I hate my son.
Well, and isn't there the issue with the logistics? Like, the way he was shot, it just would have been a really awkward angle, blowing the brains out like that. I mean, all these things don't fit together. And, the prosecution rested. And from what I saw, that was all they got. That was all she wrote.
Well, Sean, are you there? Sean, you always have a nice, reasonable, well-reasoned, mainstream approach to things. Yeah. What are you thinking?
I was worried. I wasn't worried so much how he was gonna. People are gonna just look at him and say, "Oh, he's a liar." I just wasn't sure how good he was gonna come across, and he was very. The only thing I was worried about, and I mentioned this in our private chat, I think he just needed to slow down just a little bit. Like when he was talking about going to his mom's, he was just kind of going a little too fast. I think it just slowing everything down a little bit. But I think his attorneys kind of did slow him down for a second. No, I thought he did a really, really good job. And I'll eat my crow that I thought he was not going to be on top of his game. I figured he might be easily rocked, but he kept it together till he got to the point where he's talking about where the bad part happened. And I thought it was getting a little theatrical where, he's like, "Can I have some water?" I think some of that should have probably been handled in advance, so he's ready to go. That way he doesn't have to ask for anything. I think that kind of looks a little tacky, even if it's true. He should have had a glass of water sitting there for him. Should have had his, if he needed his whoopee and his teddy bear and some tissues, have that all sitting there and just ready to go, and then you just keep going. But no, he did phenomenal. I was very surprised. I guess it also just goes back to the idea of, and Steve, I think you're right. They drill this into us younger guys. Nobody does. You're not going to do well when it matters from yourself, and he's probably one of the best around. So it was his time to shine, and he did what he needed to do. So I don't think you could have done this 100 times, and he probably would have given you the same performance.
Well, and folks, bear with me here. We're like 30.
Also, I'm sorry, my voice is going.
I was gonna say you're on the upswing from your third round of the vid. So, but thank you for doing that.
I saw like an old grandma was smoking. Like, "Hey, honey, how you doing?"
like
Come
here. Simpson's aunt.
I don't know. You sound about as good as that 911 operator. Damn, those calls are rough to listen to. They are rough.